Welcome to Knockhill Racing Circuit. I'm Duncan Vincent and I'm here with Caitlin Seabrook, who is a bit of a future star and one we need to keep our eyes on in the world of karting. And Caitlin, thank you very much for coming to Knockhill to meet us. We're going to have a bit of a chat about junior motorsport, the disciplines and how you can get involved. Now today we're in a different environment. We're in race control. As you can see, all the monitors are behind us. And as a racing driver, this is a place that you don't want to come at a race weekend because it means you've been a bit of a naughty boy or naughty girl. But Caitlin, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, introduce yourself, please.
So I'm Caitlin Seabrook, I'm 16 years old and I race in Senior Rotax, and I have a dream of becoming the first female Formula 1 world champion.
Perfect, there we go. We've met Caitlin and hopefully you guys all know who I am. Duncan's been at Knockhill for what feels like 40 years now, the grey hair starting to show it. Okay, so what were you doing at the weekend? You were away racing down south, British Championship karting. Tell us how that went.
So it was the British Oplate at the weekend at Wilton Mill, and it was my first weekend racing in the British Championships, and it was definitely the hardest race weekend I've ever done. The competition level is so different compared to club rounds here in Scotland and other club rounds that I've done. All the drivers are very, very talented. So it was one of the hardest race weekends I've ever done. We were running near the back, however, throughout the weekend I was getting quicker and quicker and moving through the pack. We just missed out on the final. Right before the superheat, it started raining and we made the choice to go from dry tyres to wet tyres, and then with 20 seconds to go, the gate shut and we didn't make it out. However, we only went down to Wilton Mill to learn the track for our upcoming season in UKC, which is the Ultimate Karting Championship. So we weren't aiming to do, obviously we wanted to do well in the British, however we're not focusing on the British this year. So we only wanted to learn the track, and getting quicker throughout the weekend was our achievement that we wanted to go for. Yeah,
making that progress is the all-important part. That's exactly why you're there. So how can kids get involved in karting? Obviously, we've got a kart track here at Knockhill, which I believe you've been on yourself, and I know a lot of people have, including my kids. But how can people take that next step from a little bit of fun karting and get involved in what you're doing?
Well, I started here at Knockhill. I was on one of my first sessions. I think I set the fastest lap time, and it was one of the marshals came up to me saying, "You've got some talent, you need to stick at it." So I think for young people wanting to get involved, I think it's important to start at your local track, your local indoor track, or the rentals, because obviously it's a lot of money and you don't want to spend loads and loads of money if you're not going to enjoy it. So you need to know if it's something you want to be passionate in, and then to take those next steps, I would look at joining a team. So I joined Motorsport and started in Junior Rotax, but you can start from the age of 5 in Bambino karting, which is crazy. They're so small, but they're so good.
Yeah, quite cute as well. She actually said earlier, we're talking about cadet kart when I started. I was 8 years old, but you said, oh no, the Bambinos are even smaller. They're so cute. So that's how you get involved in karting side of things. We at Knockhill, we actively promote mini motor racing and also Junior 1000, the Rally Championship. Now you can start them from 6 and 14, and they're really great stepping stones. Knockhill give the venue for mini motos. Karting, the karting centre actually becomes a mini motor racetrack, which is something that is great to watch all the kids and adults take on a mini motor. Have you done a mini motor yourself?
I haven't tried it, but I would like to.
Right, well, we've done it. We had a mini moto Grand Prix, all the Knockhill staff, mini moto GP. We went to kart start in Kirkcaldy many, many years ago one night, and there's quite a few people off work the next day with sore bits, but we were so big on them. But it gave you a great sense of speed, and it was great to get involved in. I mean, you see the families up there working away. It's fabulous to see, and Knockhill actively promote that, as we do with the Junior 1000 Championship. Now that's been going around for quite some time now. To see kids get into a car and master the art of driving, like what you're doing in your car, they master the art of driving by going sideways and accelerating and braking, but having the car move about underneath them, exactly like what you do in a kart when you manage to. It's one of these things that just happens, isn't it? You have a slide and you manage to control it, and then you get faster with every lap. Now, we talk about racing icons. We always do this. I've got many racing icons, but it's not about me, it's about Caitlin. That's why you're here. Who do you idolise and who do you look up to in the world of motorsport?
I think for me, my role models are definitely Susie Wolff and Jamie Chadwick. I think particularly they're doing a huge amount for women in motorsport and trying to encourage so many more women into doing it. So obviously Susie Wolff has been the whole catalyst for the F1 Academy and Discover Your Drive, which has totally taken off this year, and I think it's done amazing for girls. And Jamie Chadwick's just launched her girls only kind of driver academy for young girls, which I think again is totally helping Susie Wolff in her goal to encourage more girls into the sport. So I think they're definitely two role models of me. when I started, I didn't know any girls in motorsport, so I just had to kind of go for it and feel like I was the only one. But now seeing what they're doing and they're getting so many more girls involved, I think that's really, really great to see.
And what's karting like? I mean, it's quite cutthroat, isn't it? I mean, there's some seriously fast drivers. Is there a good few young ladies that race in your series, or are you the only one?
In Scotland, there's maybe 5, which it can seem like a lot. Compared to when I started, there was maybe like 2. But then when you look at how many boys there are, there's like 50 boys. So we are definitely the minority. However, over the past few years, I have seen so many more girls joining. So we're definitely getting more popular within the sport, but I think we've got a long way to go until it becomes half and half.
Now, you say you want to get to Formula One, as we all do, and all did when I was a lot younger. Back in black and white days, I think it was back then. But what do you want to do after karting? Because there is that kind of gulf. It's like, where do you go after karting? Will we see you sampling Knockhill as a race circuit? Is that something you plan to do?
Definitely. I think after karting, I'd like to get into single-seater racing. So this year we did have the opportunity to join the GB4 season, and we did everything we could to try to get the sponsorship for that, but we couldn't quite do it. So our focuses are on next season and trying to get the sponsorship for that. So I think the step from karting to cars is a really crucial step that you need to get right. I know a lot of my friends have gone from karting into like Ford Fiestas or Ginettas. That would be something that I'd be interested in. If I could go straight into the GB4 season, that would be great, because that's very similar to Formula 4, and then you can work your way up to the Formula 1 season.
And GB4, just at the weekend, we saw a female winner, and we also saw one of our local, Chloe Grant, getting a podium in that. So a very good place for you to maybe get a firm footing in the future. Well, you know, we wish you the very best of luck, but obviously it's about you right now. And the karting season that you talked about, the British Championship at the weekend was like a wild card, you would imagine.
Yeah.
But what are the main goals for you for this year in 2024?
For this year, I'd really like to... We're focusing on the Ultimate Karting Championship, which it'll be the biggest championship that I've done. I would like to say top 30 finish. I think there'll be about 100, 150 drivers in it. So top 30 would be a mega achievement. And considering all the tracks in the championship this year, I've never been to. So just kind of in the off season. So the season starts in May. And up until then, we're trying to go around every track and get experience there, like what we've done at Wilton Mill this weekend. So I'm already kind of at a bit of a disadvantage, because lots of these drivers have been to these tracks multiple times, done hundreds of laps around them, and I've not even been to them. But seeing my progress from last season and kind of how far I came, like finishing 6th at Lark Hall, I think it's something that I'll do well in. 16
years old, and you talk so incredibly well, I must say.
Thank you.
So obviously you're still at school, you're still studying hard?
So I'm in 5th year, studying for my higher exams. So my first exam is in 3 weeks, which is stressful, lots of studying, but it's going well. I'm not planning on staying until S6. I'm going to take a gap year and then hopefully go to university and do paediatric nursing or paramedic science. She's
got it all worked out. It's all figured out. You know, the whole Easter holiday thing, then straight back into exams, always difficult though. Do remember that as well. So whether it's karting, mini motos, or whether you fancy doing a bit of rallying as well, there are options for juniors in every category. 2 wheels, 4 wheels, even 3 wheels if you want to go sidecar racing as well. And thank you very much for popping in to see us today. We hopefully won't see you in the Knockhill Race Control building anytime soon. And the very best of luck with your karting for 2024, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Thank you.